So just keep people updated in case they want to watch. This whole week, there's going to be the PWHPA showcase in Calgary. So every day at 5 p.m., so Monday to Friday, there's going to be games between the Calgary division, Toronto division, and Montreal chapter. So there's the Scotiabank chapter, Sonnet chapter, and the Bauer chapter. These will be the first games you'll see of these athletes in particular because they didn't play in any of the ones in the U.S. It'll be a 3-team tournament, round robin type. The winner will go right to the final. The 2 second teams will play in a semifinal on it'll be a final game on Sunday with the first and second place team playing each other at 2:30. The rest of the games are at 5 throughout the week Eastern, but they're played in Calgary, so you'll see 3 p.m. on the schedule. And then the NWHL, it's the off season. There's still nothing super fancy to talk about, but there was the start of free agency. And remember, the free agency cap this year, the salary cap is $300,000. That's $150,000 more than last year, so it doubled. The only real signing that I wanted to point out for the Six was they re-signed D'Arcangelo, their captain.
Nice.
And then there's the draft happening June 29th, and the free agency for draft eligible players. So players who didn't get drafted can be signed as of June 30th. Now, I assume we'll see much more signings then because there hasn't been a whole lot now. Don't forget these athletes also have a lot of time to sign because they have jobs to worry about.
Yeah.
So this is not the priority at all. And then it's pretty much confirmed now that Montreal team will be for 22-23.
Nice.
Awesome.
The salary cap doubling is huge.
Yeah, so they posted like a nice season highlights for like what happened last year because of how many people were watching on Twitch and like what it's brought to the league in general. So just recap them very briefly. So there's that salary cap thing, which is great. Now players who sign with new teams that have to relocate, they get a $2,000 stipend, which is great.
Nice.
Again, the fact that we have to talk about this stuff is so depressing.
It is. Yeah.
They're going to be up to 3 practices a week instead of 2. And they're going to have a partnership with Instat for analytics and video coaching, which they started last year, but it'll be improved this year. Guaranteed minimum standards for teams, so like provided equipment and stuff like that. And then pregnancy leave with full pay through the end of the player's contract. And next year, all the games plus the draft are going to be on Twitch again, which is nice. If ever you want to buy anything, don't forget the players get half the revenue, which is not the case with the NHL.
Yeah.
So if ever you want to go on their store and stuff, that's great. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you guys are big into like what kind of sticks and stuff they get or whatever. Every year they're provided with sticks, tape, and wax, which is obvious. Gloves, helmet, pants, an equipment bag, skates, blades, and guards. The goalies is what I was curious about because there was a few goalies that have had pads from other teams because they had traded in the offseason or signed with a new team. They get a whole set of pads every 2 years.
Wow.
And then everything else is done by approval. So if you need an extra pair of pants, whatever, because yours ripped, that's up to team.
Yeah. It's a approval. Very, very different world from what we're accustomed to seeing.
This is crazy that we're still talking about this. So like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do to help. Watching on Twitch is definitely one, but if you want to buy stuff, like as opposed to like the NHL, this actually goes to your player.
Yeah.
And the PWHPA stuff also, they have their own shop now, and half the revenue goes to the player and the other half goes to the rest of the players.
Yeah.
Which is a cool concept.
That's awesome.
I bought a shirt. I've been running around in my Hillary Knight jersey for like a week and a half now. It's good stuff. Awesome. There's good stuff there.
Wicked.
Good stuff. I think things are trending in the right direction at least, and progress is progress, regardless how small. And like I don't know, like some of these things are they're big steps. It's not a. I like to see
the salary cap. I can promise you will get some PWHPA players to actually come back to the NWHL.
I hope so. Honestly, like
it's already happened twice, so I wouldn't be surprised if it starts happening more.
It's long overdue. I mean,
this is all they wanted, right? They just wanted to be able to live off this stuff.
Yeah,
and with $300,000, you could probably get 1 or 2 players to live off it.
Yeah, $300,000 for an entire team as a salary cap is not much, like by any fucking measure, right? Like if you, like, I don't think everyone can quite live off of that if you have an entire team, but at the same time,
Even the Arizona Coyotes spend $47 million. Come
exactly,
on.
right? Like, so 300,000, it really puts there needs to be like a very well done documentary that shows the behind the scenes of these leagues and the women that play in it, because it's insane. You're doing a great job, by the way, Chris, explaining like just how different it is for women's pro sports versus men's. When you talk like the goalie equipment, for instance, like every 2 years, things like that. It's wild. But I would love to see what a day in the life looks like for the average NWHL or PWHPA player. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
see,
I could
like
tell you
women
what it
going.
looks like. There were 3 of them that are registered nurses that were
That's
working
what I'm
in
saying.
COVID wards the entire time.
Insane.
And then they would
And
like go home at 8 p.m., go to practice till midnight, and then work the next morning at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
These people are crazy.
That's insane.
There was a
Think about how fucking hard that is to do. Can you imagine having the energy or the drive to do that? That is next level. That's insane.
if you recall, there was a goal scored. Well, while they were talking about the goal, they were talking about how this athlete was working on a COVID vaccine every day, and then she just came and scored an absolute absurd slap shot from the blue line that fooled everybody on the ice. It's like such a like the things you hear about like Sidney Crosby are that he has a cool house in Halifax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the same level
It's a
of
different
importance.
Yeah, it's a different world, honestly. It's anyway, look, but progress is progress, and doubling the salary cap is a very big deal, honestly. That's a win. So I'm happy to see that.